Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh al-Madar. We've had a whole month of a strict regime of when you can eat, when you can drink, and when you must stop. And hopefully during this month of Ramadan, you've tried your best not to overeat yourself and bloat yourself with junk food, hopefully. And I want to give a general message to eat well and live well. If a person is able to manage the way he eats, how he eats, what he eats, when he eats, and he has the discipline to manage that, inshallah he has the discipline to manage all other avenues and affairs of his life. Because food is one of the most fundamental aspects of the human being, of human biology even. And if a person can't have any self-control with what he eats, then he will definitely struggle in his self-control on what he says and what he does. So when I say eat well, live well, what I'm suggesting here is that once we finish Ramadan and we return back to normality in terms of eating, try and be more meaningful and deliberate in how you eat and what you eat, and try and transfer those skills that you're learning and how to manage your food to how you manage what you say and manage what you do. We need to try and merge between the acts of Al-Islam and the character of Al-Islam and the spirit of Al-Islam. It's not a case whereby it's just what Islam means to you in the heart. No, it's what Islam does on your limbs, how it manifests on the tongue, and how it affects the heart. So we should try our best to stick to a strict regime of healthy eating. Now, I'm not suggesting any particular diet like the keto diet or this Atkins diet, anything like that. I'm not suggesting anything like that. I'm just suggesting that we should try and treat our body like a vessel that Allah has given us as an amana, a trust, and that we want to maximize the use of this vehicle. Just like if I gave you a free car and I said, hey, it goes as a gift to you, would it be fair to just drive the car recklessly and smack into walls? I mean, that would be almost disrespectful to the fact I gave you a gift. The least you can do in being grateful for receiving that gift is to look after the car that I've given you. And likewise, you should do the same in what you eat. So try your best to reduce the amount of sugar intake you have. Eat healthy foods rather than just the snacky rubbish that we all know doesn't benefit us. It's just feeding the nafs and doesn't feed the soul. And there's a very famous poem. It goes, وَالنَّفْسُ رَاغِبَةٌ إِذَا رَغَّبْتَهَا. And the nafs, the self, it yearns and desires if you feed it and encourage it to yearn and desire, to yearn for things and desire for things. As in, you're always giving it and it wants more. وَإِذَا مَنَعْتُ عَلَىٰ قَلِيلٍ تَقْنَعُ. But if you hold it back and only give it a little, it becomes sufficed. So not much like if a person has a buffet, every day he can eat as much as he wants. The more he eats, the more he wants to eat. Whereas if he don't eat a small amount and manages his food, manages his intake, then he will suffice. And wallahi, that is very true. When you have a nice, good, healthy meal, wallahi, when you have a nice, healthy meal, once you've finished, you feel so satiated that you just feel, mashallah, this is peak, this is nice. But when you eat nasty, dirty food and overeat, you feel bloated and you regret. And that's pretty much how life is. When you indulge in sin, you pretty much always regret. And you think, I should not do so. So, in conclusion, as we are exiting Ramadan, eat well and live well. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.